Cambodian Indian FM meet to discuss major issues. As Cambodia and India marks the 70th anniversary of cooperation this year, officials from both countries met to discuss the Mekong-Ganga cooperation, as well as Myanmar's situation. Phnom Penh wire thief seriously injured after cutting live wire. A thief received serious injuries after inadvertently cutting a live electricity line in Phnom Penh yesterday. ASEAN COVID-19 Table 11 January 2022. ASEAN as a whole has reported more than 15.3 million COVID-19 cases. Of this, more than 740,000 are active cases as of January 11. Ministry of Labour introduces new SOP and management of enterprises in COVID-19 context. The Minister of Labour has announced the implementation of standard operating procedures on the operation and management of factories in the new normal. Cold weather continues for Cambodia. Cambodia's cold spell will continue with minimum temperatures as low as 15 degrees centigrade, according to the latest forecast issued by the Ministry of Water Resources and Meteorology. Local tourism industry divided over Omicron impact. Cambodian tourism industry groups say the outlook is unclear as the Omicron variant of COVID-19 spreads around the region and the world. PM calls for immediate action against growing community cases of Omicron, as 10 more community cases announced Monday evening. Prime Minister Hun Sen has instructed authorities to take immediate action after more community cases of Omicron were detected, bringing the community total to 14, as well as 24 new imported cases, making a total of 229 Omicron cases in Cambodia. Freezer limitation. Pfizer booster shots can only be obtained in PP for now. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that available Pfizer vaccines can only be administered as booster doses in Phnom Penh at present, because it needs to be stored at very low temperatures in special freezers. As Omicron variant creeps into community, PM Hun Sen urges urgency for administration of booster dose of vaccine. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that only some 4 million people have so far received the third or booster dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, while close to 13.7 million people have been fully vaccinated. Hun Sen extends condolences over loss of former Japanese ambassador to Cambodia. Prime Minister Hun Sen has expressed his condolences to Madam Sumiko Imagawa over the passing of Mr. Yukio Imagawa, former Japanese ambassador to Cambodia. Mechanisms for Myanmar offer a ceasefire and humanitarian assistance. Prime Minister Hun Sen has initiated the implementation of 2 mechanisms in the Myanmar crisis, namely, a ceasefire and the provision of humanitarian assistance to the people in need without discrimination. Human traffickers use social media to lure job seekers to Cambodia. Human traffickers in Vietnam are finding ever more inventive ways to lure potential victims overseas for exploitation. Through social media networks like Facebook or Zalo, they are offering well-paid jobs at casinos or online games in Cambodia, before springing their trap. Svay Krum Bridge planning whittled down to 2 locations. The Public Works Ministry has finalized the 2 potential locations for the new bridge over the Mekong River connecting Phnom Penh and Kandal province. CNHP leadership may face charges. The Ministry of Interior has hinted that the founding representatives of unrecognized opposition party Cambodia National Hard Party, CNHP, must face criminal charges, following its loss of a legal battle in the country's highest court over fraudulent thumbprints. PM says school year starts in new era. Prime Minister Hun Sen yesterday sent an open letter to mark the first day of the new academic year. Clean water access hits 80%. The Industry Ministry announced that the kingdom's water supply rose significantly last year, with more than 1,091,869 households receiving clean water. Outbreak of ASF in Thailand, a worrying concern in Cambodia. The outbreak of African swine fever, ASF, in Thailand's pig farms, has created serious concern among pig breeders in many provinces in Cambodia, with many calling for stricter border checks on the transportation of live pigs and their meat from the neighboring country. Chinese couple appeal in surrogacy case. A Chinese garment factory owner told the Phnom Penh Appeal Court yesterday that his wife, who could not have a child, had hired a Cambodian woman to be the surrogate mother for their biological child. NR5 helps boost trade and connect the region. The construction of the northern section of the National Road 5, NR5, from Battambang to Siri Sophorn City, is completed and has been put in service. Siem Reap welcomes new road infrastructure. 38 of Siem Reap province's key roading infrastructure projects in Siem Reap City have been completed after 13 months. Ex-opposition commune chiefs freed from Prey Sar. 2 ex-CNRP commune councillors and ex-commune chiefs were released yesterday from Prey Sar Prison's Correctional Centre 2, CC2, after they both served the term of their 18-month sentence in the prison for inciting the people against the government committed in 2020. 3 deminers killed in Prevehu Antit-Ank mine explosion. 3 demining experts died and 1 was seriously injured in an explosion in Senator Tekak village, Morakot commune, Chomksan district, Prevehu province. Police review CCTV footage for gunman who fatally shot businessman on Sunday. The Ministry of Interior's Penal Police together with the Phnom Penh Police are in the midst of reviewing closed-circuit camera footage to identify the gunman who shot dead a Chinese businessman on Sunday night in Por Senchi district. New workplace principles for health and safety. The Labour Ministry has drafted standard principles for safety and health in the workplace, in accordance with the labour law and guidelines released by the International Labour Organization, ILO, and the World Health Organization, WHO. OS Cambodia farm visa scheme would benefit both sides. Experts. Australian farmers are crying out for workers pushing food prices ever higher in the stores, and yet a plan to give visas to labourers from ASEAN nations appears to have ground to a halt. It was announced last year with the first arrivals expected by the end of 2021. Ex-CNRP activist Yum Sinan to return next week. South Korea-based court dissolved Cambodia National Rescue Party (CNRP) activist Yum Sinan is expected to return to Cambodia next week, following him being granted a pardon for offences committed. Minister of Information backs new film production documentation training project and new media museum establishment project. Minister Q Kanharith expressed his support for the initiative to organize 3 new training courses for 2022, including novel and real-world book writing courses and documentary film training courses, which is important to the field of journalism. The effects of natural disasters on rice production assessed. Fewer rice fields were destroyed by drought last year than in the previous one, largely due to the prevalence of flash floods. Quality science and technology education, first priority for human resource development. Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports, MOES, has reaffirmed human resource development as its first priority, especially in terms of quality science and technology education improvement. Victory Memorial to be built in Oda Meanchey. The government is in the process of preparing to build a victory memorial in one of Oda Meanchey's district.